Hello, world. The Virgos are back. We're here with an interesting topic for you today. We are talking about the dangers of comparing your ex to your current mate. We all know that can be problematic. So let's get into it. I am your host, Tracy Ricks. And then we got another host, my co-host, Sherrod Cohen.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Also, before we get started, y'all, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can hit us up on the email, virgoverdict@gmail.com. In the meantime, chime in if you so choose. Put something in the comments. We about to get into it. Okay, Sherrod. So, my philosophy in life, period, is comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. So why ever would I compare anything to anything if comparison is the thief of joy?
Right.
So if you are in a relationship and you are comparing your current mate to your past mate, you probably still have feelings for your past mate. Number two, something is wrong there. Something is real wrong there. You're not being appreciative of what you have, of your current mate. You're not seeing your current mate for who they are. You're not allowing your current mate to show up as themselves in your relationship, and you appreciate that. You probably don't even like your current mate if you still comparing your current mate to your past, to your ex. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I tell my students is the past and the future are literally figments of our imagination. The
You only have
past and the
now.
future are not real. They do not exist. The only thing that is real is what is happening right now. And I mean right now at this very moment at, what
Yep.
time is it? 1:17 p.m. This is the only thing that is real. Okay? I'm not thinking about what happened at 1:16. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen at 2 o'clock because those two things do not exist for me in the right now. So right now, I'm with a man. That's what's real. That's what's true. That's my relationship. And that is what I should be focused on. I should be focused on my mate.
Mm-hmm.
And if I find myself with a person and I am constantly comparing that person to someone I used to date or someone that is not them, I don't really like them. I don't. That's not my man. If I'm steady comparing him to somebody else, I don't like him. So
Right.
sis and bruh, if y'all comparing people to who you with, to who you were with, or somebody that you were with in the past, you need to break up or
Right.
get your shit together. Get it, fix it. Because you don't really like them or you don't really want to be with them and you still hung up on your ex. You need closure. For real. If you still talking about an ex who you are no longer with, you need closure. You need to settle
Yep.
that. And you owe your current mate a fucking apology because
Yep.
you wrong as fuck. That's my verdict. Sherrod, what you got?
See, I had pulled something up on that, and it basically has some warnings of like the dangers of comparing your ex to your current partner. Number one, you're not giving the present person a chance. You know,
Absolutely.
you constantly measure your new partner against your ex. You rob yourself of experiencing the new relationship for what it is. Every person brings a different kind of energy, love language, and emotional rhythm. Comparing turns your present into a shadow of your past instead of a new chapter. And just like you said, you're obviously missing something about that other ex. You know, the current person, and and a lot of times it happens with sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
remember she used to do it like this, or he would it, And it's like, see, right then and there, you just already dismissed this person right here. This person may be good at something really good at something sexually that's better than the other person. But since you like that flavor and it's still on your mind, you're not giving him or her a new chance to display this incredible talent they may have. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
I
And
agree. It's
that's
not fair.
no, it is not. It
It's
is
not
not.
fair.
It is not. Because
It's
if you
because
still hung up on a person like that, that new person has no chance.
you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance, and I can't compete with that.
Mm-mm.
I can't compete with what you are hung up on.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do to compete with that or to quote unquote win. You know, because that's where your mind is and that's where your heart is. Really that's what you want to be. But I also want to say that your ex is your ex for a reason.
Yeah.
Like for real. You hung up on something that happened in the past, but they in the past for a reason. So I need y'all to remember that. Remember why that person is your ex. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a lady tell me, I was hung up on this dude, Sherrod. I could not get this fool out of my mind for nothing. And it ain't like we had a good relationship or nothing. We wasn't in love or nothing. Okay. This is some awesome
Okay.
ego shit. And she was like, it don't matter how much you like them. What matters is how they treat you. And I had to think about it for a minute. That is what matters. I could like you all the fucking day long. I could like your dirty ass drawers. But if you treat me like I ain't shit, the fuck I want to be with you for?
Right.
I'm wasting all that like on a nigga who treat me like shit? No. Okay? So if I got a man, especially if I got a man in my current life, in my current relationship who treats me well, and he mine, he is like this my lady, you know, he bigging me up whenever we go out. He, you know, this my shit, this my man. I be damned if I go to compare him to somebody who is my ex, who I am no longer with, and who there is a reason that I am no longer with them. I'm not comparing
Mm-hmm.
him to that. That's not fair. And that means I got a problem. Sherrod,
Big time.
if I'm hung up on somebody who's not worthy or whatever happened to us, I'm hung up on you. I'm still trying to think about you, nigga, and we ain't even together. That nah, hell nah. I'm not doing that, and I don't think it's fair to do that to another person, cause it ain't nothing they can do.
No,
And if you don't
it's
like
not.
your current partner, just say that. Just
And
say
you know
it.
what? But another thing, Tracy, though, just say that, just say the person's ex passed away. You can never
Mm-hmm.
live up to those expectations right there.
You cannot.
And
You
that's number
cannot.
two. You create invisible expectations. When you expect your new partner to act, talk, or love like your ex, you're setting them up to fail before they even begin. Expectations rooted in comparison lead to resentment and disappointment, not connection.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And we got to stop being in these relationships thinking about potential. Because let's say that my ex died. My ex did die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not expecting the next person who comes into my life to be my mate to be like him just because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't ready for him to die. That's not fair. I'm not even giving that person an opportunity to love me. You know, I'm
The
I'm
way they
I'm
love.
blocking them. I'm hindering them from loving me, and I'm stopping myself from receiving every good thing that I could get from this relationship because I'm hung up on what happened in the past. I'm missing it. I'm missing what's happening right now because I'm so hung up on what used to happen, on what I used to have. And Sherrod, I have been in that situation, not like I've been in a situation, I had my fiance die. And
Okay.
then not too long after, I started dating someone else. Um, But I had to, like, it was a constant me having to check myself. I had to recognize, okay, Cat is no longer here, and this dude is a different dude. This is a different guy. He's not gonna do, because I would be like, well, my fiance never lied to me, and he,
Ooh.
like, I know love because of him. I know how to be loved. I know what love feels like. So when the other guy did something that I felt like was the opposite of what I have already experienced, I would be like, nope, he on some bullshit. And I had to check myself because he's a different man. He
Right.
loves differently than my mate did. So to I can't expect him to love me the same because he's not the same guy. He's a
Right.
different guy. You need to give, and I had to have a talk with myself. You need to give this man an opportunity to show you who he is. You need to give this man an opportunity to love you in his his love language. You need to give this man an opportunity to love you and care for you the way that he does. You need to learn what that is. You have to
Right.
get to know him. You have to get to know him in relationship to who you are. So, it's not an, especially when your partner dies, it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do because we can slip into that comparison mode, especially when if your mate dies and you had a good relationship with your mate.
Right.
You get stuck right at that point where they died. Like, oh, because I did that. I was like, I had this, and that. He paid all the bills. He never lied to me, and he loved me fiercely. So I expected the new guy to come
Do
in
the same
doing that
thing. Yep.
instead of allowing him to love me, care for me the way that or instead of allowing him to show up the way that he needed to show up. But it took a little work. But I'm also a person who is emotionally mature and psychologically mature. And I had to have these conversations with myself. And then I had to have a conversation with the new guy. Like, okay, this is what has been going on with me. And I need to disclose this or share this with you so that we can move further. And we did. It didn't
Okay.
work because we weren't supposed to be together. It didn't work
Right.
out.
Right. Right.
But I still made some revelations about things that I was doing in the relationship that didn't help. So I had to check myself. I really, really
Yeah.
did. Cause it's kind of like insanity when you're still thinking about a relationship that you had with a person in the past who is dead. You can never love them again. You can never be with them again.
Right.
It would behoove you to stop even thinking about them in that way. Cherish what you had, but move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on in newness, though. You can't keep reaching back to the past. You just can't. It doesn't exist. You've already
Yeah.
had the experience.
And that's what I had to learn early on is about the whole comparing thing, because you'll find out very quickly that you'll be disappointed super quick. It's like,
Yes.
it's especially, you may have a person that does a thing this way, this the person you're with doesn't do it quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like you could be with, okay, case in point, going from a woman that's super sexual, boom, regular, 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 and then you go to another woman that isn't. So now you have to adapt yourself
Mm-hmm.
to the, okay, it won't be every day. Okay, it may not even be every week. You sweating bullets like, oh shit, when is it gonna be? But you have to realize, like you said, I'm not with the other person for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to compare those things is totally an unfair thing because everybody
It's
has
unfair.
different life experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? And okay, she may not be like the other woman in frequency, but she may have other traits that outshine the other one. So it's just a balancing act, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
It is.
Now,
And Sherrod, I would be mad as fuck if somebody compared me to their ex. You know, like if I done cook dinner and I made his favorite meal, and he say something like, "My ex made mashed potatoes better than you," or something,
or like
anything.
she did from scratch and you did use the box.
Yeah, I would be mad as fuck. Like, how dare you? Why would you compare me? You know what I mean? And you
uh-huh.
don't want nobody to do that to you. So why
No,
would you do that?
trust me.
Why would you
Hey,
you put your mate, your current mate, in an impossible and hurtful situation?
they
Because if
can't
I
win.
know that you comparing me to your ex, then in my mind, I feel like I don't stand a chance then.
Yep. Yep.
And really you don't. If
No,
I'm
you lost.
constantly being compared, yeah, I'm lost. If I'm constantly being compared to a person, then you don't really want to be with me for real. Especially if they living and that's just your ex and they ain't die, you don't want to be with me. You done settle for me. If you
Oh,
keep comparing me to your ex, you really want to be with them and you settle for me. Especially if you keep bringing this shit up. My ex didn't. Well, me and my ex was together, or my ex would. She rubbed my back like this. She
she
sucked my
goes
dick
up
like
and you
this.
go down.
Right. It's like, well, damn. What the fuck? You can't win. You cannot have a healthy relationship. Like, that's not a healthy relationship. And
Now,
and how we can't move on, because I would be feeling like all the time I would be feeling like you settled for me.
okay, hold on.
Um,
That takes us into number 3 about
okay.
moving on. And it says, you're holding on to unfinished business. If you find yourself
Yes.
comparing often, it could mean you haven't fully healed from your previous relationship. You may be chasing familiarity, or however you pronounce that word, instead of
Hmm.
growth. Let go of the need to relive what once was or fix what already ended.
And if you are having a problem letting go, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing. There's a thing. It's called I think it's called limerence. Let me just limerence. Yes. So limerence is a state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person, typically characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, but not primarily for a sexual relationship.
Wow.
So it's entirely possible for a person to be in a state of limerence. Like, we call it infatuation, but it's a little deeper than infatuation. You borderline obsessed, maybe not a stalker, but you keep constantly thinking about this person, um, not even necessarily acknowledging openly that you want some reciprocation, but you do. You do. If you still constantly thinking about your ex, that means to me you're in a state of limerence, and that should your ex show up, call, send you a letter or a text, you gonna
You
you gonna
out.
jump right on it. You out.
Yep.
Somebody, your ex send you a text, you responded. Your ex pop up, you opening the door. You run into your ex at the grocery store, you lingering. You gonna talk, hoo hoo hoo, hey, it's good to see you. You gonna do all of that. And if your ex says to you, hey, I want to try again, you will be open to trying again. Especially if you are in a relationship where you are constantly comparing your ex to your current mate. You really want to be with your ex. And if your ex don't really want to be with you, you are in a state of limerence. You need to let go. You need closure. And if you're having a hard time letting go, if you really need closure to let go to therapy,
Yeah.
so that your therapist can give you tools and techniques on how to navigate your feelings of limerence and how to get out of it.
Okay.
But you have to have the desire to not want them anymore. You have to want to let them go. But people in the state of limerence, they don't want that. They don't want to let go. They want to hold on. And you constantly comparing that person to your ex, you still holding on. You got a problem.
Yep.
Something is afoot. What y'all think?
And I think we all been there. You know, where well, for me, I've been there where I dated someone and you can tell the ex was still around. You know what I'm saying? And then one point in time, like, you know, you hear the stories about how they broke up. And then when they tell you, yeah, you know, casually, yeah, I spoke to my ex. Like, yeah. Yeah, he apologized for everything. And you know what, for me, with the way that I think, I'm like, well, you might as well go back to him then. Because what you said, you know, was very egregious what he did to you. And if you forgave him, you might as well go back.
Well, Sherrod, I think you can forgive without going back.
Well, I was right. She went back.
She was she wasn't ready to let go. She wasn't ready to let go. I mean,
And that's cool.
you know,
You know, I don't get upset. You know what, Tracy? I live my life in a state of transition. I'm ready to adapt to any and everything at any time because I feel like I try to control what I can control. I adapt to what I can't.
and same. So I'm not attached to anything. So it's my philosophy that, you know, if somebody or something wants to leave or exit my life, they can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not tripping. I ain't trying to hold on to nothing. Nothing belongs to me. I'm
Right.
not attached to anything.
It's your right.
And
You can leave
it's
whenever.
hey, do what you need to do. Um Also, you know, what's for me doesn't pass me by. I get what's for me.
Right.
Always. And if it's not for me, it goes. It
Right.
leaves. I only want what's for me. So if
Yeah.
you are not for me, if you are exiting my life, see ya.
Yeah.
You're not the, you know, we're not supposed to be nothing then. If you're trying to go ahead. I'm not about to beg nobody to stay, Sherrod.
Right.
I'm
No.
not.
It
I'm
ain't
not
worth
about
it.
to beg.
It ain't
It's
worth
not.
it.
I want what's for me. I want what wants me. I want what loves me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to, yeah, I ain't trying to do none of that other shit. Oh, you want to go? Peace. And I
Yep.
really mean it. Like, when I say peace, I really mean peace. The peace of Christ be with you, for real. For now and always. But I'm out. Deuces. Ain't no love lost. We ain't got to fall out. We ain't got to fuss and fight or nothing. And Sherrod, the minute a man that I'm in a relationship with fix his lips to compare me with anyone, I'm out. Go ahead and be with them then, because I'm not what you want. I'm not what you want. And before we go any further, before we get any more attached, before we get any closer, before I start falling any further in love, we gonna cut it right here, dude. Cause you gotta
I
make a
get it.
choice. You done compared me to somebody, which means that you have some unresolved feelings for that
Mm-hmm.
person. And I don't want to be a part of that. So you go ahead and work that out, whatever that means for you. But I'm exiting stage left.
Yep.
And I think that's the smart thing to do. I don't, cause you know that would hurt my fucking feelings, Sherrod. If somebody compared me to someone else, especially if that someone else is their ex, that would hurt my
Right.
feelings. And if they compared me in a way that made me seem like I'm
Less.
less than, like they was
Okay.
doing so much, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that because you just led me into the next one. You confuse different with worse. Your ex
Mm,
and your current partner might handle things differently. That doesn't mean one is better. Maybe your ex was more expressive, while your new partner is more reserved. Different doesn't equal deficient.
And that is correct. Different equals different.
That's it.
Different means different. And just because they different don't mean they wrong. So we have an argument, and my ex, he will want to sit down and let's hash it out. Let's talk about it immediately. But my new guy, he need a minute. He need to go and get his thoughts together first before we talk it out. I might look at that, as wrong, but it's not. It's the way he needs to process. And that's the thing too, like when we get in these relationships, people come as who they are. They come into the relationship as who they are. And you have to prepare yourself for what they might be. And then when you get into the relationship, that's when you have to decide. You have to be honest with yourself about what you can tolerate and what you cannot. And then you have to be honest with your mate about those things. And talk to them in a way that doesn't make their idiosyncrasies or how they do things their fault or something, make it like it's something wrong. So when you present it to them, this is me. I have an issue with this. That doesn't make you wrong. This is something I need to work out. That's the kind of conversation you need to have with your current mate. This is my issue. I'm not saying anything is wrong with you. This is something I need to work out. But because you're my mate, I'm obligated to have this discussion, this conversation with you. So you can be on the same page as I am. So you can understand what's going on with me. So we can work it out together for the sake of our relationship. But you can't come to your mate like, you do this, you do that, and I don't like that shit. And that shit, you can't do that. You still got to love and respect them. You got to respect who they are. And if you cannot, then you need to break up with them. If you cannot respect who they are, if you cannot respect how they handle things in your relationship, if you just simply cannot tolerate those things, then you have to be honest with yourself. And you have to exit stage left. Because it's not fair to still stay committed to them and then torture the shit out of them in the relationship. That's not fair. Why do that? Why do that to another person that you claim to love and care about? I don't want to. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, Sharad.
So next, you block emotional intimacy. Comparisons build emotional walls. Your new partner will sense they're being judged against someone else and may start to pull back. True intimacy can't exist where someone feels they're in competition with your past. Or you'll have somebody trying to, this is just me, I think you'll have somebody trying to overcompensate, or try to anticipate, okay, how would her ex do it? And then they'll try to be who your ex was.
Instead of being them.
Instead of being them. So that was like, I wrote a question, was like, are we looking for our ex in our next partner?
Some people are, though.
Yeah.
Some people are looking for, it's just like, when you do a drug for the first time, you want to keep getting it. You want to keep having that experience. Yeah. And it's the same thing with a certain kind of relationship. You loved the way that your mate loved you or handled you. And you're looking for that in the next person. And you're going through these relationships looking for your mate. And your mate ain't there because your mate ain't them. Your mate is your ex ain't there. Because your ex is not them. Your ex is your ex. And your current mate is never going to be your ex. And if you keep looking for your ex in your mate, you'll never find it. Your mate will never live up to that expectation. Never. Those kinds of relationships never work. They never work. You can't look for somebody in somebody else. It don't even make sense. But
Well,
I know people who have done that.
hmm
Hell, I know somebody in it right now, pining over their ex, and they married to somebody else, still thinking about, and their ex is married. And she be like, I know he still think about me. How? How do you know that?
because
Why
I
are you
talked
thinking
to him.
about him thinking about you? She ain't talk to him. Cause he don't fuck with her.
Oh, really?
He loves being married. He like his wife. She
Oh, damn.
stuck. Yeah, she stuck.
She stuck
She
in
like
limericks. What was that?
she's in a state of limerence. She
Okay.
is. She is hoping that her ex will divorce his wife at some point, and then she could have another opportunity. And she is currently married. I'm like,
See?
why in the world did you marry this man? She like, cause I was trying to get over him. So she married another man,
Yep.
hoping to get over her ex,
And
and
you know
she's
what?
still in.
I've been there. I've been in that relationship where I was the rebound nigga. I'm bouncing all over the goddamn like boy, boy. It's like, and the funny thing is, as the man, well, I think as the current partner, you know when you're the rebound, right? Because I'm one
Mm-hmm.
of those guys. I'm gonna ask you about your ex. I want to hear about your ex. And the thing that you cannot do is hide how you feel about your ex when you talk about them. Because if you hate
Mm-mm.
that person, you really hate that
It's
person.
gonna come through. Yeah, yeah.
And when you love them,
And whoever you talk to is gonna know that you hate that person.
so I would ask, tell me about your ex. I mean, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I never say what did he do. I just say how did
Mm-hmm.
it end.
What
And
happened?
then
Yeah.
when that person started off like, I mean, he was a great guy. Go ahead, tell me.
Tell me what happened, sugar.
Tell me what happened. He's great. All these,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just, oh, well, and you're telling me all these great things about him. I don't hear anything inherently wrong, except for, oh, that nigga didn't want you.
He didn't want you. He didn't
I
want you
got,
in the way that you wanted him to want you.
I'm chewing the bubble gum off the bottom of this nigga's shoes. Damn. Do I even want your ass now? And you was like, damn, hold on, man, I'm getting somebody else discarded trash. You
I'm
know,
getting somebody else's girl. So I was watching a movie the other day, and in the movie, the guy who is the protagonist had gone to war.
mm,
And when he went to war, he had a girl. They thought he died in battle. He did
okay.
not. He came home maybe a year or two later. When he came home, he discovered that his cousin had married the girl that he was with when he left. He was like, okay, no worries. He started dating someone else. They go to a gala, a ball. At the ball, the protagonist, um, the ex girlfriend of the protagonist, asked the protagonist for a dance. The man's current girlfriend is on the sidelines, and the cousin, who's now married to his ex girlfriend, on the sidelines, watching them dance. And you could see they weren't talking, they were just dancing, but you could see the
The
energy
chemistry.
exchange between the two.
Yep.
You could see the chemistry, and you could tell there's nothing that they could have done to hide it because they didn't even know that they were doing it.
They were
It
just
was a
into each other. They
natural.
melted into each other.
They melted into each other, and you could tell that these were two people that were in love. Currently, like at the dance, you could tell that they loved each other. And so that's why when it's important to have conversations with people about their
Yep.
past relationships because you can see it and you can hear it in the tone of their voice, in the words that they use, in their body language, their
And you know what?
facial
Look into their
expression.
eyes. Look into the eyes.
Yes,
Man, the
you
eyes
can
is
see
the
it. The eyes
window
tell it
to the
all.
soul.
Yes, the eyes tell it all. You can tell when somebody is hung up on somebody else just by how they talk about that
That
person.
twinkle came in her eyes. I was like, oh, you still on that nigga's dick. All right.
Yeah. And so the guy who I dated right after my fiance passed away, he and I had very like intense, strong chemistry, right? He's since moved on and so have I. So he is about to get married. Um and one day he was like, I want you to meet my fiance. And I was like, no. He was like, why? I said, because the moment your fiance sees us together,
She's
she's going
gonna
to
know.
consider me a problem. He was like, you know what? You right as fuck. She can't never see us together. I'm like, yeah, because we don't know how to temper that. And, we have amazing chemistry. We just not compatible as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
But we have very strong physical sexual attraction to one another. And he's my friend. Like, we cool. That's my dog. We just can't be together. But if his fiance saw us in the same room together, just in the same room, Sharad, she would know. She would consider me a problem. There's
And you know
certain
what?
things that you can't hide. Uh-oh.
See, that's why dudes, when a woman says, "Oh, I got a lot of homeboys," do tell, because somebody done banged out the homeboy bunch, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, and when they tell me, no, 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 he like a brother. Yeah, I'll let you call me a brother too if I can fuck you from time to time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind being I don't mind being the side dude if and see the thing is, I wouldn't do it in this day and time, right? When I was younger, man, I'd be sitting in the same room with the chick I was messing with, husband be there, and I wouldn't even interact with her. It's like woo woo woo, and I've done it so often, it just became second nature. And I
Mm-hmm.
know I look, I know God sent me my lick back. you know, I know it doesn't
I don't
happen to
even,
me.
Sharad, I don't even know how to, like, I couldn't be in the same room with him because
Okay.
I wouldn't even know how to be. I wouldn't
Oh
even
damn.
know how to
Okay.
be. So I could never be in the same room with him and his fiance. Never.
I was
And
a
he wouldn't know
professional
how to be
side
either.
dude though.
You said you was a professional side dude?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for
Yeah,
shit,
see.
for I mean, when you younger, man, it's like I ain't trying to be attached to nobody. I ain't trying to
Mm-hmm.
take you from your man. As a matter of fact, I'm a big up your dude, so you don't even want to leave him. I'm just gonna give you what you need when you need it. But I'm gonna tell you, hey man, maybe he under stress. That's why he ain't performing his best. Give that man ample time to get back on his feet, you know what I'm saying, and become the man that he was in the beginning when you liked him. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you full time. I just want you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want you part time. I just want you
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of time. And I gotta, get up, take that whole bath, and shoot to the crib. you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time. And see,
Yeah.
and then when you think about that, when you get older, and you start seeing that sign in your mate, you're like,
Yeah.
you cheating.
You cheating. Yeah, because See, I've never been a side chick that I know.
okay.
Well, I found out later that I was the side chick. I didn't know I was the side chick
Okay.
in two circumstances. I didn't know I was the side chick. I thought I was the main chick. And I found out that I was the side chick. So I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to be cool. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know how to handle a situation like that because I'm not side chick material. I don't even know how to fuck to do that side chick shit.
Man,
So
you
yeah,
just
so I
gotta be
wouldn't know.
quiet.
That's what I would default to. It was like, let me just be quiet and stay out the way,
Yeah.
cause I don't want no problems. I don't want to get into a fisticuffs with nobody about somebody, man.
I think this one is very important. You sabotage the growth process. Every relationship has its own learning curve. Comparing short circuits that growth, comparing short circuits that growth. Instead of asking, why don't they do it like my ex? Ask, how can we learn each other better?
I think that's awesome, and I think that's something that should happen at the beginning of your relationship. How can we learn each other better?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one of the things that I do in my relationships is I allow them to tag along in all of the things that I do. So you can know this is what I'm doing on a Wednesday. This is me. Like, I want them to see me around my family. I want them to see me around my friends. I want them to see me around my coworkers. I want them to see me when I'm working. I want them to see me when I'm engaged in my hobby. I want them to see me when I'm upset. I want them to see me when I'm crying. I want them to see me in every way, in every aspect, because I want to give them as much information as I can give them so that they can make an intelligent choice about me.
Right.
And I want to receive as much information from them so that I can make an intelligent choice about them. But you need to, as a person involved in the relationship, you have to tell the truth. You have to tell the truth of you. You have to give them the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have to totally be willing to be naked, emotionally naked, when you are in an exclusive, committed relationship with someone. You have to bare yourself to them so that they can have all the information, so they can choose what's right for them. Um, I think that's the only way relationships can work. Really, it is. And I feel like if you know entering into a relationship that you're experiencing limerence or consistent thoughts, infatuation of your ex, then you need to halt getting into a new relationship until your old feelings have been resolved. Because it's not fair to invite somebody into that and you know full well that you are not over your ex. Don't get into a new relationship until you can fully show up and fully be present for your current mate.
Okay.
I think it's a foolish act to do anything otherwise.
And see, and I like the conclusion for this is it says sometimes the very thing you wanted in your ex shows up in a different form in your current partner, but you will
Mm-hmm.
never see it if you keep looking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Growth comes from recognizing new love requires new eyes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to allow yourself to be loved. You have to allow yourself to
Yeah.
experience new things in this life.
Open up.
Every second of every minute of every hour of every day, we are becoming brand new. Every second, we're new. We learn something new about ourselves. So I feel like in new relationships with new people, you have to give yourself the opportunity to learn something new about you. You never know what you're going to get. You might get something exponentially better or more, um, something that affects you in a way that your ex never could in your new mate. But you
Yes.
have to be open enough and give your mate the opportunity to show you that experience. And I feel like if you closed off, if you so stayed and stuck on your ex, then you need to bow out.
Yeah.
You need to
Until you
bow
heal.
out. Yeah, until you heal. And hopefully your current mate will be there when after you've healed. If not, it wasn't meant. It wasn't part of your destiny. So yeah,
Yep.
so that's our verdict, y'all. I just feel like if you still pining over your ex, you might want to hold off on getting in a new relationship, or seek out closure from your ex if you really need that. You can get closure without having to reach out to your ex, but some people need that. So I feel like you have to do whatever it is that you need to do for you to be healthy, and then for you to be in a healthy relationship. But comparing your ex to your current mate is not fair for either of you. But it's particularly unfair to your current mate, because nobody can morph into somebody else. And also, I would remember that outside of death, it's a reason that your ex is your ex. And you need to remember what that is too. So that's my verdict.
You know, here's one more thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. As the current partner, don't ask about somebody's ex. Don't do the comparison yourselves, because people will do that. You know, and I've had this situation. Hey, I do this. How did you? Mm-mm. No. We're not going
I
there,
need you to do you.
because, you know, if if I was to get into a new relationship, I wouldn't tell you what I'm looking for. I'm just
No,
gonna
I
say,
would
hey, just
not.
be yourself. That's it.
Yeah,
Just be yourself,
because the
and let me see if I like you.
minute you tell somebody what you're looking for, they're gonna try to do that instead of being themselves. Instead of, you
Yeah,
know,
they're gonna become
um,
your ex.
they're gonna become your ex, and instead of exploring who they could be in the
Yeah.
relationship, now they're taking cues from you. Because so when I was on Facebook, I was having a debate with some of the women on my timeline, and they were saying, well, you have to tell a man how to date you. And I'm like, I'm not telling a man how to date me, because number one, for me, that means I'll be telling him what to do in the entirety of our relationship. Because how you start is how you finish. Number two, I want to see who he is. I want to see how he shows up in this space. Because the more, for me, in my world, the more the effort that someone puts into the relationship is indicative of how they feel about you. So in the beginning, especially we just dating, I'm not going to be telling you how to date me. I want you to date me how you would date me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to date myself. I'm trying to date you. And I'm trying to see how you date. So what I look like telling a grown man how to date me? I need
Yep.
him to show up as a person who's interested in dating me. What does that look like? That's what I'm trying to see,
Show me
especially
how
in the
you
dating.
do it.
Yeah, show me how you do it.
Yeah.
I might like it a lot.
See, it might
So you
be,
never know.
you know, I might be into that new experience and be like, oh, hold on, wait, this is different.
Yeah, I like
I've
him.
never,
I've
yeah.
never had that. Yeah, he might show me something that I have never experienced before, and I might like it.
Hmm.
And it might be totally opposite of what my ex would have done. So
Because you
yeah,
allowed
I
yourself
just
to
feel like
grow.
you have to give people an opportunity to show you who they are in this
Yeah.
particular space, in this relationship. Let them show you how they show up for you. And then I'm gonna
Amen.
show them how I show up for them. That's how I go. If anything other than that is uncivilized, Sherrod,
It is.
like
I
for
agree a
real.
thousand percent. I really do.
Yeah.
You just come to the table with who you are. If you're loving, kind, compassionate, be that. If you're an asshole, be that.
Be
At
that.
least let that person see who you are and see if they like your flavor of whatever it is you present. And if they like it, cool. If they don't, cool. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
somebody will.
Somebody will. Oh, that's for damn sure. Somebody will.
Hmm.
I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was like, "So, how's single life?" I was like, "It's a bitch," but he was like, "Sis, somebody like that shit though." Like he was like, "You ain't got to worry." I'm not worried though. I'm not worried because I know somebody will. Somebody gonna show up and like it. So I ain't tripping. So you ain't got to stay in no bad relationship. Somebody gonna show up and like it for
Nope.
real.
And you don't have to
It's
chase
a
people.
whole. You ain't got to chase people. I, I don't chase. I'm just open to receiving.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't chase. I like being chased, but I don't do the chasing.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that's our verdict. Tell us what y'all think. Put it in the
Yeah.
comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you want to get deep, if you want to suggest some topics, if you want to give us a piece of your mind, if you want to cuss us the fuck out,
Yeah.
send that
I'm
over
ready for that
to
one.
send that over to Virgo Verdict at gmail.com. And until next time, y'all, peace.
Peace.